Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my YouTube chit chat. My name is Sinazak and this is my YouTube channel. So guys, there is latest development about Christmas list. More issues and more information continue flocking the YouTube street. And also, I want to talk about this particular guy. And this guy is called John. And John has been so instrumental to eradicate crimes within the Trinidad ghetto. This man came and unearthed an history that he was there when the two gangs were fighting. But because the government and the police were so delinquent in their services, it forced this man to form a group to come and quell the situation going forward. So this man spoke a lot, but while Christmas list came in, this guy was there. This guy observed everything and this guy saw it. And he came barely when it was just one day for Christmas list to be arraigned in court. Whether the freedom is going to come or not, it is Christmas list day in court. Now, I don't want to delve much into the introductory part of it. I want us to go straight and watch an expose, an explanation John has to say about the whole saga and how Christmas list was arrested and the very important information that you need to grasp. So if you're coming across this video and this channel for the very first time, kindly take a minute, a second or two, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click on the notification bell so that whenever I upload a video, YouTube shall notify you going forward. So let's dive into this video straight away.
But in the real honesty of things, it's not really a gang culture. It is a reality. So in Trinidad and Tobago, they passed gang legislation since 2017, and they only booked the first person on the gang legislation probably this year, which was late last year. And after booking the first couple artists on the gang legislation, and they're out on bail for brandishing weapons and whatever, obvious reasons. There's this guy called Christmas List. Now, Christmas List, if you go on YouTube right now and you type in Chris, M-U-S-T, not Christmas as in Christ and Christmas as we celebrate. No. His name is Chris Hughes, and it's a must list to see all these high-risk areas that people will not dare to go in. He has been in Kabul, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Uganda, Congo, Somalia, Haiti. He has witnessed over 200 murders within 1 week in Haiti, within a small community that he was in. He's been to Jamaica, and then he left Jamaica and he came to Trinidad, right? So he comes to Trinidad. Everybody know, like, every Tom, Dick, and Harry have a block, right, in Trinidad. There's no opportunity for the youth. They've been cutting, slicing jobs by the tens of thousands for the past couple of years. All of these things are publicized. I hear you all talking about the national security and how they use the national security to spy on the people as well. I mean, that's quite obvious in Trinidad because we have cameras everywhere, but there's no crimes being solved. So it's hilarious at this point. It's actually... It's hilarious. The reason why I say it's hilarious is because, when they say during the greatest crisis is the greatest opportunity, and God is an amazing God, the Almighty God is a divine equation. He's a creator of equations. When you think one thing happening this way, something else happening that way. You never thought would plan. So Christmas List was an international traveler. This man traveled over 200 countries. I think he's been locked up maybe once or twice in Africa, right? So he comes to Trinidad, and he has toured every single major community in Trinidad, every major hood, right? Myself and Johnny Bravo, they had a 13-year war between the Rastas and the Muslims, right? I had to use my name, my grandfather, understanding of the anthem, and that, honestly, that's where I tell you, I know my people, I know my humanity, because from the biggest, most heinous gangster murderer, I tell you, every single one of them I met. I could tell you some of the biggest gunmen, all of them out free as a whistle, because the way how the justice system is, you're going to get hold for a gun charge today, you're out on bail tomorrow, and you're out free, right? And they have guys with 20-something gun charge. How much are all kind of gun charge, murder charge, Trinidad is, the system is literally, come in, if you have your money to give us, if you have your money to kick back this one, that one, pay, you're back out, right? And so that is how the system is, and it perpetuates, one second, I'm online right now. Yeah, so basically it's perpetuating, it's a very vice grip, lockstep system in Trinidad and Tobago that has been lockstepping into degrading the society, and it is everybody's witnessing with their eyes and could see what's happening. Okay, so we're right there to Venezuela, Colombia, right? We had major transshipment points recognized by the FBI, CIA, every single body all across the world. We are a major transshipment point for massive amounts of drugs, and and what they say is the UN reports say the drugs pass through, the guns stay. These are UN reports, okay? From since over 20 years now, they have reports, you know. And so we are, as youth of the country, when we see a guy like Christmas List, everybody excited because they see him in all these rough hoods, and they come to Trinidad, oh gosh, you're giving us a big up, man. Now nobody shied. Every single hood that he went through, everybody sang the same song. You seen them with the big guns, you know. You seen them with the mask up, you know. You might see them with the mask off. Some of them brandishing the gun all how. But they saying the same thing. Is love. No judgment. Yes, I have my rifle on me. But the only reason we have a rifle here is because somebody gonna come through that corner at an unknown moment and bust rifle shots right around this corner here. And if we don't catch them first, when them bust the corner, they're gonna be taken out. And in Trinidad, the badness is not like Jamaica. Right now, my Jamaicans call them and say, bro, what go on Trinidad, bro? Y'all don't understand badness. Because in Trinidad, if they can't catch you, they're trying to catch a man mommy, they're trying to catch a man child, a man granny, anything they're killing. And they're killing 3, 4, 5 at a time. And so we have to say, but what madness is happening? Because just 2 years ago, we brought a peace between Rasta and Muslim, where you would see 3, 4 bodies drop a day, right? Different places in the country. Now, and that's Rasta and Muslim, two of the biggest movements, right? Because I ain't going to say gang no more. Because there's legislations now that oppress our people. So we're not going to, there's the words right now in the streets, they're not even using anymore. Because it's a recognition of oppression now. It's a slow degradation. And as every gunman say, you all really believe a gunman could move big drugs in Trinidad and out of Trinidad? Who have the capability to do that? Come on. Who has the rights to allow ships to get clearance to come in, go out? And we're talking about when it hit to the US, they have massive, we talk 100, how much ever tons of cocaine. And these are all reports, you know, it's happened over and over. And as every gunman would say, every one of them, because never had we had this opportunity before. Nobody in Trinidad afraid. They will speak for the camera. Plenty men don't afraid to death, which is a very alarming thing, because too much young men are willfully giving up their life and existence to what I call a self-inflicted genocide. You know what I'm saying? There's only one type of people inflicting the genocide in Trinidad. And so Christmas List comes and he documents the whole thing. And the police, there's a secret police arm that made a call to him right after he came off the media, into the main media station, Guardian. Secret police called Johnny Bravo and says, yo, with Christmas List, give him the phone. Gives him the phone. They say, we'd like you to help us with an investigation. And Mr. Christmas, who's an international traveler and a Canadian citizen, told them, all my videos are up online. You can see whatever you have to see. I'm sorry if unless an investigation against me, I cannot help you because this is very risky stuff. We don't do that, right? He doesn't even ask. Everything he has ever went in a community to ask, it's on camera. He doesn't really have to have too much off camera. I've seen the editing process. It's very particular. He just gets to the truth. He doesn't even ask questions more than, why are you holding a gun? Why I'm seeing you all killing each other. Why are you all killing each other? And then the general consensus is, number one, none of them could give a good reason why they're killing each other, which is a very good thing because everybody's recognizing that it's not making sense. That it's just a perpetual cycle. It has to stop somewhere. Number two, they all say we are lacking opportunity, right? We are massing youths and youths and youths lacking opportunity. Number three, young fathers being locked up, persecuted, have no jobs, so have to turn to illicit means. There are no government programs for youths. There's no government programs to transition youths into an employment circuit or even learning their own trade. They have certain things, and yes, they will have a certain quota, but if you really look at the reality statistics, an alarming amount of people are not going to school. They're not going to any kind of, we don't even know how people survive when you go in some of these communities. So it's by the grace of God, Trinidad is not in complete chaos. You know what I'm saying? And what is happening now is that this guy gets locked up by the police. The police run an operation on Monday. They lock up 20 gang members. Well, so they say. They call Christmas and they tell him, we would like you to cooperate with us. He said, listen, I'll cooperate with everything that I have up online, no problem. When he told them he's not going any further, they said, are you sure you want to do this? He said, is that a threat? He said, you sure you want to do this? He said, hello, I'm going to the Canadian consulate. I don't like how this is sounding. He goes straight to the Canadian consulate. The Canadian consulate tells him, brother, you're in Trinidad and Tobago. This government is very known for what they do. Our advice as your embassy is telling you to get the hell out of Dutch right now. They told him, jump on a plane, leave Trinidad now. We have intelligence telling you, go, right? Chris, as he left the Canadian consulate, I cannot make this up, he is approached by two undercover officers. You sure you don't want to do this? He says, I'm not giving you guys anything. Look, I'm leaving. He goes home, he packs his stuff, takes a little nap, knock, wakes up. Undercover cops again. They snatch him. Tell him, come on, you're coming with us. Give us all the devices. They give him a makeshift warrant that now seizes all his cameras, his equipment, his laptop, every single thing. So it's crazy how he could go from, you're not a suspect, you're not arrested for anything, you're not suspected for anything. We want your help. And then when you don't give us your help, we're going to arrest you. And we're going to seize all your devices until further notice. No one was informed. So essentially, the TTPS of Trinidad and Tobago kidnapped a Canadian national. There was no information to his friends or family that he was detained by police. When he was detained, he was secretly being questioned without anybody knowing. I myself had to put out a video in the day and I said, Christmas list, where is Christmas list? Christmas list is missing. Now we are the guys we work with, IATF, with the guys in the streets, all these guys, to try and bring an awareness, a cultural awareness of us being Trinbagonian and bringing back the love and, bringing the communication to understand one another. So when Christmas list comes down and everybody's communicating, we have a big opportunity for peace. We have a big opportunity for, us understanding the common struggle, which everybody said the same thing. Government not providing jobs. So,
sorry to cross you, John, but just very quickly, because one of the things that we've been addressing has to do with our cybercrime bill in Barbados and some of the legislative aspects that have been put in place where persons, we just saw it happen in Guyana, where the host of a show was actually arrested because of something that was said that was anti-government. And we are aware of the fact that in Trinidad there are some similar legislative aspects, and I'm just wondering if those are the kind of legislative aspects that your colleague would have crossed in terms of what is happening in Trinidad, because our cybercrime bill is still being debated, if we could put it that way. It's not been passed into law. It's not an act or anything of that nature. But we are watching what is happening in our sister countries. We saw what's happening in Guyana, and we are watching what is happening in Trinidad. And that's why this got our attention, because we were thinking that maybe what he's going through is as a result of the legislative aspect that has been put in place to kind of strangle expression.
Well, sorry to cut you, but I could be very specific. Of the Sedition Act. All right, so they're trying to charge him under the Sedition Act. I like to call it the sedition.
Right.
They want to sedate the public. Get the name of it. The Sedition Act, right? So it's all about, sedition is basically like, okay, anything that's kind of inciting discontent and between the populace or the government, and that has to do, which it's very, very vague, up for a lot of interpretation.
Guys, from that specific video, that's John talking. And John is a Trinidadian. And he lives in the ghetto. He was very instrumental in quelling every saga. And he witnessed what Christmas List has been doing in the ghetto. And his affirmation are in congruence with mine. You know, these are not my point. They are not coming from my mouth, but it's coming from a typical and native Trinidadian who is still living in Trinidad. It's not a Trinidadian who is living in the US. It's not a Trinidadian who is living in Canada or lives in elsewhere. It's the typical Trinidadian who still lives and dwells in Trinidadian ghetto. So, for those who are coming on this channel to start castigating me, oh, you are interfering, no. You are in your comfort zone in either America or Canada, and you don't know what is happening in your country. So listen to this man and get this point clearly. So what you are getting out of this is that it ain't a gun culture, rather a reality on the ground. Gangs exist. So this guy is just saying us the truth, that gangs exist. And this gang forced this guy to form group to quell, because the security forces and the government has been doing nothing, completely nothing. It's either corruption gets involved, then they sweep away all the things. That what Christmas List did, Christmas List just mirrored the society, just did an expose, and without interfering with any government programs, any government policy, not to publicize the Trinidad in a bad picture, but to address the plight of the Trinidad youths. That's point number one. Point number two, what you are getting out is that we could also ask the question, what is the government doing? None. Government is doing nothing. And this is the delinquencies of the government. Are you there? We have been told there is camera. There are cameras erected everywhere just for surveillance. There are security forces that even the Trinidad police and the security sector and department are working with the FBI, the CIA. There are also the United Nations reports that are also categorizing and giving a spotlight of Trinidad gangs within that parameters. These are not my words, are the words of these people, are the words of the United Nations Council, Security Council. The same reasons why the FBI, the CIA had to be. But with all this, the crime itself has not desisted. The crime itself have skyrocketed. So Christmas List kind of exposed the things that the government of Trinidad of the day never wanted to be exposed. It's either they're using these things for trade and nothing is being solved. They know the reasons as to why. You know, those are the situations that now Christmas List came and highlighted the plight of the youth, and now some people elsewhere are not happy. Again, the government have cut jobs to the youths. There are no programs that the youth can benefit of. Nothing for the youth in this ghetto and in this community. The reasons as to why the youth feel so neglected. The reasons as to why the youth are finding absolute reasons to engage into crime and other kind of nonsensical bees that are now impacting Trinidad in a bad way. Are you there? This is the same reasons why I'm saying the government has failed. Because you cannot treat a very vital complication with a painkiller. It has to be diagnosed so well so that the treatment itself must be commensurate with the level and also with the conditions that the country is hailing from. It's not just a mere vexation, because the government itself is now on a reactionary tactic. They are on a gimmick to plant PR and for a cover-up, so to speaking. You know, the guy, John, is also confirming that people have been arrested with guns. He's giving a typical example that at one time there were some people who had 21 guns and rifle, got arrested, but what happened? They bought their way back into the community stream just because the Trinidad police and the system itself is corrupt. Are you there? If you are willing to pay, you buy for your justice. It's the same reasons why I'm saying that's why they're taking so long. They want to railroad Christmas list so that maybe they can see if they can mint money from Christmas list. Again, it's not my word, it's the word from a Trinidad guy, more ghetto guy, a guy that is so refined that has been helping people and bridging the gap. Are you there? He's saying also the government is aware that the youths deal in drugs, weaponry, and all this kind of shipments is being done in such a way that they come from Venezuela, from Spain, from Italy, from all those kind of sorts. Are you there? The government is aware. Are you there? So the problem is, the Christmas list came and documented all such, and the Christmas list had in possessions of how the shipments of drugs, the shipments of weapon, it's being done, and the government forces and the political and the power that may be are involved. So when I talk of the political ploy, it's because one side of the political ploy was going to be exposed. Are you there? Was going to be exposed. That's why by that time, if you could be following Christmas list on Instagram, people were just asking, Chris, release the video. Because this video was shot for a long time, and Chris never wanted to release it. But people were hell-bent for this expose to be done, because there is a politician who deals and uses the youth in a bad way for his own benefit. Transport drugs, weaponry. Are you there? And this was an expose that Christmas list was going to do. So Christmas list was set up and was apprehended so that all his equipment were confiscated, and maybe some kind of content were deleted so that it should never see the day, because majority of security officers are there and somebody was going to be exposed badly. This is a fact. Are you there? The guy also is saying sedition is a degradation, a degradation of a free press. It's also a curtail of a freedom of press, and it's a suppression of information itself. You know, this is where the government seek refuge and seek hide to do a PR gimmick. Any kind of discontent and disquiet that the youth within the ghetto might raise is being thwarted using this law. That's why the High Court itself interpreted this law to be in contravenous of fundamental inherent human rights. Later they used the Court of Appeal to revive and reinstate law and state the order. Are you there? Political ploy, political game, a political situation will never solve the situation at Trinidad. It only needs a political goodwill for the services to reach people wherever they are, for these people to be rehabilitated. Are you there? Not for a mere gimmick, arresting Chris for highlighting the plight of the youth, for highlighting the delinquencies of the government services reaching the youth within the Trinidad ghetto. Are you there? It just don't make sense for these guys. Are you there? So, police felt threatened by an expose. And all they are doing, they just want to thwart everything. They just want to bring every other kind of information under the table, and they just don't want all this information to be out there. Are you there? So what Chris Maslis did was an expose on how crimes are being done in Trinidad in the support of the justice system and in the support of the system and the political powers that might be. That's why there was a political ploy to have Christmas list arrested and his equipment being confiscated. So the expose just disappeared that way. But I believe all is not late and all shall be well for Mr. Chris Maslis. You know, this is what Chris Maslis documented. And this is where the government itself never wanted to be faulted, because people started pointing finger at the government. The international front also raised questions. Are you there? The whole world saw it. Everything itself was captured on the camera. Chris Maslis never insulted anyone. Chris Maslis even interviewed the gang, and the first question he asked the gangs, why are you guys killing each other? The gangs enumerated and highlighted very many reasons. One, unemployment. These are the government services that the government itself must ensure that her people gets employed and gets empowered. Youth neglect. The government has neglected the youths. The youths are on their own. So, absolute right for the youth to take refuge in doing crimes. So, all in all, the government were exposed because of delinquent services nature, and the security forces in also were so delinquent. All they do is just corruption and minting money. That's again the high number of school dropouts. People don't go to school. They have got nothing meaningful that they can do rather than crime. That was also came out. And lack of youth empowerment. So Christmas list was just arrested because of not cooperating with the police. Because the police came, most of the secret police came and wanted to question Christmas list and wanted Christmas list to help them in investigation. Investigation for what? Every kind of information you need is in Christmas list YouTube channel. Go do it. All that the police were aware and the intelligence they received that Christmas list is in the possessions of a vital information and a camera on how they aid in crime and how they ship the weapons, how they ship in the drugs through the port of Spain. This is what the police were afraid of, and this is the information and all the videos the police wanted to intercept and throw away. So the style of arrest was a kidnap, and it was a comunicado. And John saying that the Trinidad government, in their modus operandi, kidnapped Christmas list long time ago. Nobody knew where Christmas list was. Christmas list was being questioned. It is up to John, who also got an intelligence that Christmas list is disappearing. They haven't seen Christmas list along the street. That's why John came in and raised an alarm, and they staged protest. Are you there? Asking government to release Christmas list. Were it not for this guy, maybe Christmas list could be a long-gone case, could have been kidnapped and thrown elsewhere. So nobody knew about the arrest. So it's because of this guy, John, who raised an alarm of such kind of arrest, because he knows so well how the Trinidad government and the police sometimes behave. Are you there? So guys, Sedition Act is vague. In its own interpretation, the government of Trinidad is fighting back any kind of discontent and disquiet within the community, where the government feels short and feels so delinquent. They don't want to seek help for such kind of issues. All they do, anybody will raise such kind of plight, shall be thwarted or shall be eliminated. But if you have money, you can buy your justice back within society. Until next time, this is Senior Zach.